In this extended video, we're going to break down football trading on the Betfair exchange using XG, and you're going to see how the professional football traders actually use expected goals in play, not as a post-match stat. This video is going to have the full playbook explained. We're going to be looking at how XG interacts with the match odds market. We're going to look at the over and under 1.5 goals market, the over and under 2.5 goals market. We're going to be looking at advanced dual market trading strategies where XG is used to trade multiple markets simultaneously. And this isn't about predictions or tips. It's about understanding where the market is wrong, why it's wrong, and how to position yourself before the correction arrives. So look, if you love football trading on Betfair and you want to go to the next level, then this is the video for you. Go grab a six-pack and let's get into it. So the over and under 1.5 goals market, it's got to be one of the easiest markets to trade for newbies on the Betfair exchange. And I don't really like to use that word easy, as it can lead people down the wrong path. However, when you take this into account, 80% of matches, 80% plus of matches are going to go over 1.5 goals, which means it's quite hard to actually get it wrong. And when you're trading football, you only actually need one goal to be positive, and as we know, the percentage of matches with just the one goal is even higher than the percentage of matches with over 1.5 goals. So when you take all this into account, it's quite an easy market to trade on, but there are obviously problems, and a big problem or problems for many is typically when to get in, mainly because obviously the prices are quite short on over 1.5 goals at kickoff. And obviously if you're laying under 1.5 goals, that's going to be a pretty high price to lay if you're getting in at kickoff. We obviously tend to wait until those prices are just in play, which then obviously creates that problem. Well, when do we get in? Do we get in after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half time? And so you can see where people start to spiral out of control. Then obviously there is that big dilemma of when to get out. What if you're in an over and under 1.5 goals trade and it's not going to plan? The goals have dried up. Well, when do you get out? When do you cut your losses? So obviously it's a big problem for many if you don't really have a set strategy for it. But the good news is, look, when you use XG, it solves most of these problems instantly. And I say this because you can wait patiently for a certain threshold to hit during the match, which is thus going to increase the price because we're obviously taking advantage of time decay, which means that the price on over 1.5 goals is going to rise, under 1.5 goals is going to go lower. It's a cheaper lay at that point. And then obviously just deploy your strategy. You still need to be a good trader if you're going to succeed in the long term. So let me just show you how this works with XG. So with regards to waiting for a certain threshold, as we know, look, this match is 0-0. During the first half, the XG is increasing with time as the chances come in, and we can see this metric clearly as the match develops. And this could just be a typical match. We could have 0.3 XG by the 15th minute. By the 30th minute, suddenly it's 0.7 XG. By halftime, it's 1.1 XG. It's still 0-0. So there is opportunity to get in as that XG is climbing, but before the goals arrive, okay? Because here is the big golden nugget from this, is that real goals lag behind the expected goals most of the time. So the XG might be forecasting 2 goals are expected in the match, but the match is still 0-0. Well, it's a golden opportunity because depending on the time of the clock, we've got time for that to correct and for those goals to arrive. Remember, we are expecting the goals. We're not guaranteed the goals, but we are just expecting them. And so especially if you've got something like 45 minutes left on the clock and we're expecting 1 goal, we're expecting 2 goals or 3 goals, it's a pretty good opportunity. The expected goals metric is like seeing smoke before you discover the fire. And of course, there's going to be some matches where the goals do arrive before the XG has hit that threshold, but you just don't get involved in those games. I mean, there's hundreds, thousands of football matches to trade every single week. So like anything, patience is key. You still need to be a good disciplined trader and a good trader overall if you're going to succeed. Okay, the XG is very helpful, but it's not a magic bullet. So anyway, based on all this, we're going to get into some real life demonstrations of this. We're going to be trading the over and under 1.5 goals market. I'm going to be showing you exactly how we look for that threshold and the type of strategies we use to take advantage of it and take advantage of the time decay. So let's get into that right now. But before we do, I would really like it if you could hit the like button. If you do enjoy videos like this, if you do like videos like this, hitting the like button is going to help YouTube send you more content just like this in the future. So it actually helps you more than it helps us these days. And remember, if you don't want to miss a video, hit that subscribe button too, so you get all our new videos as soon as they are out. Anyway, let's get into it right now. We've got some real life demonstrations taken from the Betfair exchange. So we're in the early stages of the second half of this match from the Europa League. PAOK and Bran, it's 0-0. And obviously I don't know much about these teams, but the numbers is telling me quite a lot. 0-0. That combined XG 1.82, plugged it in the calculator, and we're looking at a goal overdue from both teams, total goals overdue too. And so anyway, we've got involved on the over and under 1.5 goals market. We're going to be backing this as that price rises. Remember, we only need 1 goal. We've got 2 goals overdue. We're only going to need 1 to crash that price in. And we've spread out the bets into the market also, as you can see. So we're going in at 3.3 and then 4.3 and then 5.3 also to take advantage of that rise in the price. And that's pretty much it. We know the goals are due. We just can't pinpoint when those goals are going to arrive. So we'll take advantage of that rise in the price. Let's see what happens. It's 57 minutes. It's 0-0 at the moment. 65 minutes and we've had a goal, and it has gone in favour of the home team. And so that was the goal that we were pretty much expecting. We didn't get... well, actually, we got a little bit of our order at 4.3 taken. It wasn't taken in full, but we got about half of that taken. So anyway, we will cancel this. And obviously, when you're trading based on the XG, you can have a look and just update the numbers here. And I've put them in, and it hasn't really changed much. We're still expecting 2 goals, but we can adjust the score. And you'll see that now it's expecting 1 more goal. It's also saying that really this should be a draw. So if we are going to get another goal, maybe to the away team. Anyway, we're not going to worry too much about that right now. What we will do, because we're expecting that second goal in this one, we will simply remove the risk from this. Let me just get that in. And just give ourselves a free bet on over 1.5 goals. So basically, we'll be in a position where we're not going to make anything if it remains 1-0, but if we do get another goal, then we land the £99 of profit. And the other option would be to cash out. Okay, most people might cash out in this instance, but we've got good reason not to cash out because we can see the XG. It's guiding us. So this is a data-driven decision. Let's see what happens. Let's see if it pays off. It's 1-0 on 66 minutes. 88 minutes on the clock. The second goal that we were expecting has finally arrived. It's better late than never, isn't it? So anyway, remember, it was a data-driven decision as that market closes. Let's have a look at the over and under 2.5 goals market now. So yeah, it was a data-driven decision. We obviously got involved on the over 1.5 goals. We were expecting 2 goals in this second half. After that first goal, we were still expecting that second. So instead of taking that cash out, which was around £58, we went for the second goal and gave ourselves a profit of £99. So if you're in that situation where it is a, well, do I cash out and take the profit now? Should I let it run for a bigger profit? Well, now you have the XG to guide you. And obviously it wasn't guaranteed that the second goal would arrive. But if it didn't arrive and it just remained 1-0, then I would just hold my hands up and say, well, at least I made a data-driven decision as opposed to an emotionally driven decision, which can be just cashing out and taking that profit instantly. We're all victims of that. Anyway, nice trade in the end. This one is 1-1 heading into stoppage time, but our trading on this match is done. So we've still got more of these examples to come, but there was a key line there, and it just shows you that using XG, it does help you make those data-driven decisions that you won't regret, even if the trade is not a winning trade. Because you're no longer going to be making emotional or rushed decisions. You're going to be making trading decisions that you can stand by. So even if that next goal doesn't arrive, you can stand by your decision. And I think for many of us, we've all been there where you take a trade, it doesn't work out, and then you doubt yourself afterwards and you wonder whether it was the right move to make or not. However, now you can be pretty confident. You followed the data and you stuck to your process. Maybe that trade didn't work out, but you've got to stick to your process and it will work out in the long term. So anyway, as said, we've got more of these to come, but I just wanted to show you this also. We're currently giving away this book for absolutely free. It will show you how we're using XG to trade football in these modern markets. Okay, the link below will get you it, or you can scan the QR code. You're going to be learning how and why XG data is changing the game, how you can take advantage of it, the main elements of interpreting the XG data, which is the real key to all of this, and hopefully you're learning in this video today. And then obviously how you can get started with implementing XG into your football trading. And it's packed full of real life trades, just like you're seeing in this video, but you can go over and dissect them within the PDF. So as said, click the link in the description of this video, or if it's easier, scan that QR code and fill out the form and we will send you the book right away. Okay, anyway, let's dive in. We've got more real life trading demonstrations to get into and get through in this video. Just having a look at this one from German Bundesliga 2. So let me just adjust just to double check. So looking at this, it's 0-0 at the moment. Its current projected match result is a draw, so it's not really clear who's dominating, but there is a goal overdue, so that means there's been enough chances created in this to be expecting a goal. And as we know, real goals can lag behind the expected goals. So anyway, we're going to get involved, or I've already got involved, laying under 1.5 goals. So we're going to start to lay this outcome. We've got all our lay bets in the market ready to go, because as you know, it's a case of we're expecting the goals, we just don't know what time they're going to arrive. So we know this price is going to steam, and we're going to take advantage of this price dipping. So anyway, let's see what happens. We've got all the lay bets in. Let's try and look for that goal in the second half. So we're in the 65th minute. Just to show you, I've updated the XG a bit. It's still 0-0, but you can see that number is starting to tick up, with possibly Magdeburg showing that they're the more dominant team. But anyway, yeah, it's going in the right direction. It's always something you want to look for. We've got, what, two of our lay orders matched. Should be a third one very, very shortly. So, yeah, let's see. Everything is going in the right direction. Let's see if we can get that goal at a reasonable time. 74 minutes in, and we have got the goal. And as expected, it's gone to Magdeburg. So it's eerily accurate. We did say that goal was coming very soon and probably going to Magdeburg. So anyway, let's see how the goal markets look at this. Look at this precise moment. If I can. Well, while we're waiting for this to fix up, let's have a look at the data. So I've updated the latest XG. We're now going to just change the correct score on this. So interesting, we've got no more goals overdue. So we're right where we should be with the goals. Possibly this could be the type of match which might finish in a draw. So you could consider going against Magdeburg. But anyway, look, with no more goals due. 12-second delay. Anyway, look, yeah, with no more goals due, we're going to try and exit out of this. It's going to be a very, very slow wait, isn't it? So anyway, very accurate, very accurate. You saw why we entered at half time. We had all the data in our...
This event has been suspended.
In our favour. As the markets go suspended. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, so anyway, look, the markets are back. I did quickly check. I do believe there's been a red card to Nuremberg. So that's what that suspension, that market suspension was all about. So, yeah, we're going to have to wait for this market to settle. And then we're going to try and exit out of this. Okay, but anyway, we're right where we should be. We're expected one goal. We're on one goal. So we're going to try and exit out of this market and we'll be right back. Okay, look, it took a while, but we finally cashed out and got out of the market. I had to obviously stop recording. You know, the markets actually went suspended again for another minute or so for no apparent reason. So with that 12-second delay, it took a while to get out of the market on this one, to get the profit. Anyway, it's all done. Let me show you the data. Let me just show you the XG and where it's leading us now. So Magdeburg are winning. They've got a man advantage. Current projected match result is the home win. There's nothing more really to see in this one. Total goals overdue, there's no goals overdue at the moment. Probably very close to maybe another goal being due, but yeah, here we are with the 1-0 to the Magdeburg. But our trade is done. We've locked in the profit. We locked it in over both the outcomes because the data isn't really telling us to chase more goals. So we'll just take the cash out and we'll lock it in and we'll move on. So anyway, we're finally out. Magdeburg 1, Nuremberg 0. So we found a 0-0 at half-time match from German Bundesliga 2, and you can see that it is 0-0. We plugged in the XG numbers. We've got 1 goal overdue. It's not really clear who is going to score that goal. No team really dominant. But there's enough for us to want to get involved on the goal markets as the second half begins. So you can see we're laying under 1.5 goals. We're only expecting 1 goal at the moment. We've got to anticipate that it's going to end up expecting 2. And so, as we know, the under 1.5 goals price, that's going to steam in, and the price is going to tick lower and lower. So we've got lay orders 1.67, 1.47, 1.27. Okay, so we're expecting a goal. We just don't know when it's going to arrive. So we are set up in the markets to try and catch it. Let's see what happens in the second half. 75 minutes on the clock and we've got a goal. As said, we're expecting goals. We just don't know what time they're going to arrive. And this one's taken till the 75th minute for it to arrive. The good news is we've got all our lay orders matched. So we've got £250 of profit potential on the over 1.5 goals should we get another goal on this one. But we're going to obviously make a data-driven decision on this one. So I've updated the XG. This is the current XG numbers. This is the current score. So total goals overdue is 0. However, current projected match result is draw. So we're still anticipating that this could easily end up being a 1-1 draw. So anyway, you got options, haven't you? You got options. You can cash out. We can look at removing the risk from this and then just giving ourselves a free bet where we just take this amount. And considering, I mean, there's 14 minutes left. You've got the away team winning and expected match result is a draw. Let's just put this in. I'm going to make the decision to leave a free bet on over 1.5 goals. So no further goals. We're just going to end up breaking even on this one. Another goal, we're going to land £109 of profit. So those are our profitable options currently. Lock in the £50, go for the 109. And so according to the XG, we're still not quite where we should be. Okay, just going back to this. Its current projected match result is a draw. The away team is winning. So when that is incorrect, we're going to look for a correction. And we're going to see. And the good news is, even if Hertha Berlin were to score a second goal, that's still going to land us the profit. So anyway, let's see what happens. It's around 13 minutes left. It's Holstein Kiel 0, Hertha Berlin 1. So just to give you an update, we're on 84 minutes. It's still 1-0 to Hertha Berlin. But I did just want to point this out that obviously one of the great things about football trading, we made that decision to go for obviously the 109 profit if there's one further goal. We've let it run. You've always got the flexibility to just say, well, actually, do you know what? Now I might just take the profit. We tried to get that next goal. Didn't arrive. We could actually take the profit. We could actually just exit now with £37. So I just want to point that out to anyone who is a newbie to all of this. However, are we going to do that? Well, not based on what we're seeing here. And I'll point something out. As said, look, we've got that current projected match result is a draw. So we're not quite where we should be. Whether we're going to get enough time for the goal, let's see. Who knows? However, also on the XG calculator, when this goes yellow, just want to point this out. This means that this is getting very close now to, say, Kiel expecting a goal. Okay, their XS XG is getting very close. Their XG correct score is getting very close. So within a few minutes, you could easily see that XG tick up, and then we are literally expecting another goal. We've got 1 goal overdue. So I just want to point that out. That's just something to keep in mind. We obviously don't have a goal overdue right now. It's very, very close to it. All the signs are pointing to it. So we're anticipating that. And as said, look, we're in the market with absolutely no risk. So that's just something to keep in mind. Anyway, let's see if we get the goal. Let's see what happens. There's a few minutes left, and there's going to be time added on. Holstein Kiel 0, Hertha Berlin 1. So here we are, deep into injury time on this one, and doesn't look like we're going to get that second goal. So the end result of this trade is just going to have to be a scratch trade. So keep in mind, do we regret making that decision of going for the second goal, well, an outcome-dependent trader would say, well, yeah, you didn't get the second goal. You didn't make any profit, did you? However, it's a data-driven decision. We stuck by the numbers on this result. We didn't get the goal that we were looking for. You can only ever regret a trade when it's an emotionally based decision. So there was no emotions in this one. We looked at the numbers. We were expecting that second goal. It was just one of those trades where it didn't arrive. The beautiful thing is we didn't lose any money on this one at all. So just keep that in mind, and we will look to move on and get on with another trade. So probably the final score, Holstein Kiel 0, Hertha Berlin 1. So we're looking at a match from the Bundesliga, Frankfurt and Wolfsburg. It's 0-0 at half time, but there's been well, more than enough chances for the XG numbers to suggest that there's a goal overdue. We're not quite sure who to, but we're expecting this is gonna possibly erupt in the second half. So anyway, let me show you. We're getting involved over and under 1.5 goals. We're going to lay under 1.5 goals with quite a few lay orders. Time decay is going to tick this price down, and we'll get a few of these lay orders matched before the goal is scored. That's the idea. And then we're doing similar on the 2.5 goals market. Time decay is going to tick it down, and then obviously once that goal is scored, we can start to just trade from there, depending on the timing. So anyway, we will give you more updates in the second half, but we're expecting a goal. We're just not sure exactly when it's going to be scored, but we are well prepared for it. Frankfurt 0, Wolfsburg 0. 69 minutes on the clock. Just had the breakthrough here. Frankfurt 0, Wolfsburg 1. As said, we were expecting a goal in this one. Let's have a look at the markets. The over and under 1.5 goals market. We had quite a few of those orders were matched all the way down to 1.48. We've got some green to potentially lock in, and similar on the over and under 2.5 goals market. Yeah, we got some green. So anyway, what we're going to do is I will look to remove the risk firstly on this. We're just going to stick to that, and then obviously we're going to try and let the data drive our decision. So let's just remove the risk. Let me just get that done. Okay, so we've got £155 of a free bet on over 2.5 goals. And then let's remove the risk here also. Just going to put that in, 156. We're going to lay it off. So it should give us a £93 of free bet on the over 1.5. Okay, so anyway, those free bets are done. We've removed all risk from this. We've got no further risk in the trade. Now let's take a look at the data. So you can see here, this is Frankfurt versus Wolfsburg. I've updated the XG, which is quite a big leap, okay, in favour of Wolfsburg. It wasn't even a penalty. So anyway, we're going to adjust the score. So we're on the correct match result. However, we still got 2 goals overdue, with another goal at least due to Wolfsburg. So the XG suggesting this should probably be at least a 2-0 win to Wolfsburg. So what we're going to do is nothing. Okay, we're not going to cash out. So many novice traders, they just see the cash out, they just press it, and they're just desperate for some sort of green screen. Not the case here. We're going to let this run. We've got a free bet on the over 1.5 goals, and we've got a free bet on the over 2.5 goals. We're not going to lose anything on this. It's just a matter of how much we're going to make. Let's see what happens. It's a data-driven decision. We're going for more goals. Frankfurt 0, Wolfsburg 1 on 70 minutes. 96 minutes on the clock, and it has just gone 1-1. Frankfurt 1, Wolfsburg 1. So very, very late, and literally the last kick of the ball, as you can hear there. So anyway, look, we land that profit on the over 1.5 goals, and then we break even on the over 2.5 goals. So anyway, very, very late goal. Those who are inexperienced with football trading will say, well, you got lucky, didn't you? Last minute, very, very lucky. Well, actually, no, it was a data-driven decision. We were expecting this goal, and well, actually the match is still going, so yeah, not sure what's going on there. Anyway, data-driven decision. We were expecting that goal. As said, we're expecting it. We just don't know what time it's going to arrive. And there is no difference between a goal being scored right away or being scored with the last kick of the match. Actually not the last kick of the match in this case. We are still alive on the over 2.5 goals, but yeah, anyway, I don't think there's going to be enough time. But anyway, that's pretty much it. You saw the data-driven decision. We entered this 0-0 at half-time. We could see the data was leaning towards there being goals in the second half. There were goals. There were 2 of them. You saw how we played out the trade. Left ourselves a free bet, made sure there was no further risk. Had to wait until very, very late to get that second goal to give us some profit. And now here we are. So anyway, I think that's probably going to be the end of it. It's Frankfurt 1, Wolfsburg 1, the final score. So when you're laying under 1.5 goals as a football trader, the first thing you want to be doing is splitting your stake up. This can often cause a bit of a debate, a bit of a controversy about whether you should split your stake up or whether you should just go all in with your full stake. However, it really just depends on your approach. If you're laying under 1.5 goals because you are just looking for a lay bet, effectively backing over 1.5 goals, then that's absolutely fine. However, that's not trading. And if you really want to trade, then you should be taking advantage of the time decay. As we know, if you're laying under 1.5 goals, that price is going to keep ticking down. By splitting your stake up, you can be taking advantage of that. So you can be laying at lower and lower odds as time goes on without a goal being scored. So as said, you're taking advantage of time decay. And also, more importantly, in this modern age, you're taking advantage of the rise in XG pressure. So take a look at this graphic just to give you a rough idea on the combination of time decay alongside the rise in the XG pressure. So start of the match, the under 1.5 goals. In this example, it's at 3.5, but it can be higher, 4.5, 5.5, depending on the match. Now, at the start of the match, high under 1.5 goals price, very low XG pressure. Now, ideally what we're looking for is high XG pressure, low under 1.5 goals price. And this is only really going to start to happen. And just keep in mind, this is just an example. Not every match is going to play out like this. But once we potentially cross that half an hour mark into the match, that is when we're going to probably see some decent XG has been chalked up. The under 1.5 goals price has ticked down to a very attractive lay price. And if there hasn't been goals, then this could be the opportunity to get in laying under 1.5 goals. And of course, as we know, as time goes on, that time decay and that price is just going to keep ticking down, which is why you split your stake up, and it's going to be in the market at lower and lower prices, and it could be even lower than the 2.0. With that in mind, the XG pressure is going to rise and keep going higher, and the higher it gets, the more likely we are to get closer to a goal. So anyway, with all that in mind, we're not going to stick to the theory. We're going to get into some real life trading demonstrations where we're going to be trading the under 1.5 goals market. We're going to be laying under 1.5 goals market, which is effectively backing the over 1.5 goals market. But anyway, look, you're going to see it all for yourself, and we're also going to be doing it in combination with other market opportunities which might also have developed. Anyway, you're going to see all of this. Let's get into it right now. But before we do, it would be really great if you could click the like button to support the channel. Remember, clicking the like button actually helps you to get more content just like this. Not necessarily just from us, but from some of the other great creators on YouTube within the football trading world. So anyway, click the like button if you want to see more stuff just like this, and let's dive now into some real life trading demonstrations. So we're taking a look at this match from the Europa League, Jagiellonia against Coops. If we pronounce that correctly, probably not. Anyway, doesn't matter. All that matters is the numbers. It's 0-0 at half time. The XG, after plugging in the numbers, very much in favour of the home team. It's projecting a home win. It's saying that the total goals overdue is at least 1, and that's obviously in favour of that home team. So it's very clear cut. And also the home team were a pretty strong favourite for this. So this is going in the direction that you would expect. And we're actually getting just a bit of a boosted price on them. So anyway, look, we do know that as the second half develops and it remains 0-0, the price on this home team is just going to keep rising. So we've got orders in the market to take advantage of that. We're expecting at least 1 goal. So we're going to head to the over and under 1.5. Starting to get involved in that one there. We've got orders in the market after breaking our stake up into 3. And so we will see what happens, okay? As you know, with expected goals, real goals, they lag behind the expected goals. We're expecting these goals. We just don't know what time they're going to turn up, which is why we're taking advantage of the time decay, the rise in the price. And if we can get all of them matched, then we could get a very, very nice return. Anyway, let's see what happens. It's 0-0 at half time. We'll keep you updated in the second half. So we didn't have to wait long for that one. The expected goals have arrived very, very quickly. You will see that happen. And obviously this was a pretty nailed on, clear cut trade, wasn't it? We could see, look, it's a strong favourite. They're absolutely dominating. The XG numbers are all in our favour. So, yeah, these are the trades which are hard to lose. It was just a pity that obviously we didn't really get to take advantage of the time decay that much. We only got a third of our stake in the market. But a profit is a profit. Just take them when they're nice and simple like this. So we will cash out on this market. And the other market was the over and under 2.5? No, 1.5. Okay, all right. All over the place here. And just looking at the XG. Well, look, we can adjust the score and put it in. We had 1 goal overdue. Now we've got no goals overdue. So for now, we could just take the profit on this market. Okay, so that's it. Obviously, from this point, you could just keep your eye on the match, see if the XG does start to shift or if any other trends develop, and then you can deploy your strategies. But that's pretty much it. We've locked in a profit on the match odds market. We locked in a profit on the goals market. And we are out within, 9 minutes of the second half. But the most important thing, the most important takeaway, it's a clear-cut, data-driven trade. Okay, no emotion, no gut feeling, no crossing our fingers and just hoping for the best. You can see why we entered the trade. We don't know anything about these teams. I couldn't even name a player that are on these teams, but it is going by the numbers. We went fully by the numbers. We got it locked in. So, nice trade out after 9 minutes. So we got Plymouth here against Northampton. It's 0-0 at half-time. And the XG looking very, very solid in favour of Plymouth. I mean, it's all Plymouth looking at that. So, obviously, the calculator's showing us home win, projected match result, total goals overdue is 1. And that's in favour of Plymouth. So, this is almost as clear-cut as you can get. Now, let's look at the markets. And you can see this price on Plymouth is pretty nice, right? So, 2.5. And let's just get an idea of the market movement during this first half. So they started just above evens, so they've drifted out, but not by too much. So anyway, looks like a nice little opportunity here. So with time decay, that price on Plymouth is going to rise. So we've got orders in the market to take advantage of that, and we're also getting involved on the goals market. We've got a goal overdue, and so as you can see, we've got all our lay orders into the market here, all the way down to 1.18. Anyway, let's see what happens in the second half. 58 minutes on the clock. We've had a goal in this one. It's not gone the way we wanted. We backed Plymouth, didn't we, at half-time? It was looking very, very good. It's actually Northampton who have taken the lead. The scoreboard doesn't show the goal just yet, but I assure you, Northampton have taken the lead. So anyway, all our bets on Plymouth have been cancelled, our further orders, and we're obviously staring down the barrel of a red screen on the match odds market. The good news is the goal markets are much better. So we could actually take a profit out of this right now. But first thing I will do is, in fact, hold on. Yeah, let's just cancel the rest of these bets because we're not going to need that right now. So the first thing I will do, we're just going to take the risk out of this and leave ourselves a bit of a free bet on the over 1.5 goals while we make a decision about what to do next on this one, because this goal has definitely arrived against the run of play or against the run of the XG. Let's take a look at the data. So I've updated the XG. Now let's update the correct score, which is 1-0 in favour of Northampton. So still, the projected match result is still on a home win to Plymouth. It's obviously a big ask now for 2 goals to turn it around. But we're still looking at team goals overdue, 1 in favour of Plymouth. So we're still expecting Plymouth to get on the score sheet. We're still expecting another goal in this one. So we're going to let this run and let's try and get that second goal in this one. If we do, we're going to land £106 of profit. We've obviously minus 33 on the match odds market at the moment. But we've got some green on Plymouth. There's still time for them to turn it around. But either way, if we get that second goal, we've traded out. We've got our free bet now on over 2.5. Well, sorry, not over 2.5, over 1.5. So let's try and get that second goal. Let's get into profit on this match, and then we'll reassess depending on who scores that second goal. We are expecting it. Let's see what happens. Plymouth 0, Northampton 1 on 61 minutes. 66 minutes on the clock. We just had a red card to Plymouth. That is going to change everything. And we will actually exit this trade now and take what we can. Just take what we can off the table and move on. Plymouth, it's obviously, I mean, they obviously had a very good first half, didn't they? Second half, a bit of a nightmare. Goal against the run of play, now a red card. So anyway, we will take £61 of profit on the goal market. We're not going to do any further trading in this one. It's going to be too hard to read this. And obviously, we're just going to have to accept that match odds stake is gone. Okay, so minus 33 on the match odds market. But we do have 61 locked in. So very close to £30 profit overall over the two markets. And you got a good example of just what can happen in football. Okay, so we followed the data, didn't we? When we entered the market at half time, we had a goal go against us, but the goal markets were obviously a bit of a saviour for us. I was going to stick with it, look for that second goal, maybe look for a Plymouth comeback, but that red card has changed everything. Let's just exit. Let's take the profits. Let's look for an easier match to trade. That's something I always tell the members. If the match starts to get hard to trade, there's always going to be easier ones out there. So anyway, we're out of this one. Plymouth 0, Northampton 1. So some definite interesting trades there so far, but very realistic. This is the type of thing you're going to experience when you're in the football trading markets. Now, anyway, if you're a serious football trader, then this book is for you if you're trying to go to the next level with your football trading. The XG Manifesto, you're going to be learning exactly how and why live XG data is changing the game. How to get started with implementing XG into your trading, and it's packed with full of real life trades just like this that you can go over and dissect, and it's absolutely free at the moment. So it's a free download. Click the link that is in the description of this video, or just scan that QR code and get your copy. It is as simple as that. So if you are a serious trader, you want to upgrade your skill set, download that book. That's the first step towards doing that. So anyway, we've got another example, and this one's an interesting one from the Liverpool match. Let's take a look. Half time from Anfield with Liverpool taking on Sunderland, and I've plugged in the XG numbers on this one. It's 0-0, and Liverpool with 0.73 XG, and all these numbers are looking very favourable to Liverpool and a home win. So projected match result at the moment is a home win. Total goals overdue is 1. So we're going to be getting involved on the match odds market. Also, we're going to back Liverpool, and we've also got orders in the market to take advantage of the time decay, as you can see here. And then we're all set up on the over and under 1.5 goals market. So we're laying under 1.5, and we've got lay orders going all the way down to 1.06. As we know, the time decay, this price is just going to keep ticking down on the under 1.5 goals while there is no goal. And so we want to try and get some of these lay orders matched and then get that goal. So we're expecting a goal, just not sure about the exact time it's going to arrive. So we are prepared for it. Liverpool 0, Sunderland 0 at half time. Give you more updates in the second half. Liverpool were pushing and absolutely dominating, and there's been a goal, but it's gone to Sunderland, and it is Sunderland who are ahead. So anyway, we were trying to back Liverpool. We only got one of our orders matched, so I'm a little bit relieved at that. However, remember, we were involved on the goal market, so we've got profit on the goal market as it stands. Okay, we could lock in £70 of profit and then also exit, and we'll be in profit overall on this. So anyway, we will check the data, but one thing I will just quickly do is just going to remove the risk out of this, and just get that risk out, and then we'll see what happens from here. But yeah, we've got around £70 of profit to lock in. Let's quickly look at the XG data. So I've updated the XG here. And obviously you can see, look, the projected match result before the goal was a home win. Total goals overdue was 1, and it was suspected to be in favour of Liverpool. It's gone to Sunderland. That's obviously football. That's what can happen. So now we're in a position where team goals overdue, 1 in favour of Liverpool. Current projected match result is still a home win in favour of Liverpool. So I think we're going to be aggressive on this one. We're still expecting another goal. So we're going to leave this as a free bet, expecting that second goal to arrive. There is value there. I also think there is value in going against Sunderland here. So at least if we lay Sunderland, if we can get back onto the draw, then we'll break even on the match odds market. If we get a second goal, that's going to cover any loss on the match odds market also. So let's get this in if I can. All right, it's in, it's taken. We're going against Sunderland. We're going to try and leave 0 on the draw. If Liverpool can somehow turn it around and win, then there is some green sitting on there also. But anyway, that's what we're going to do. So getting a second goal in this is quite crucial now for our trade. just to give you an update or on where we do stand if this match was to finish right now, we would be actually minus 62 on the Sunderland. But anyway, a lot of football to be played. 20 minutes to go, plus any time added on. Liverpool 0, Sunderland 1. 81 minutes on the clock. Liverpool 1, Sunderland 1. So we've landed the profit on the over 1.5 goals. You have to play the video back to see exactly what that profit was. But anyway, that is profit in the bank. We're now looking at the match odds market. We've obviously got now some leverage to use on this match, depending on what we think is going to happen. There's around 8 minutes left. We do have green on Liverpool here, 57. We could just leave it at that. Are we worried about Sunderland winning this based on the data? We've currently got 0 on the draw. We could also just take £11 of cash out on this one. Let's have a quick look at the data. And so these are the XG numbers that have been updated. We'll put this in. So it's now Liverpool 1. Liverpool have got their goal, which was overdue. Total goals overdue is 0 at the moment, but we are still projected for that home win for Liverpool. So the way I see it, we will let this run. Okay, we're not really seeing much sign in favour of Sunderland winning this. It is football. It could of course happen, but do remember we've got leverage. We've got profit in this already that we made on the over and under 1.5 goals market. So if Sunderland do go and nick this, it's just going to be taken away from that profit which is already made. So we're going to leave this here. We've got 0 on the draw. We do have £57 on Liverpool, and then we could take a hit to our profits if Sunderland nick it. Anyway, let's see. There's 82 minutes left. 82 minutes left. There's 8 minutes left, plus the time added on. It's Liverpool 1, Sunderland 1. We're following the data. Let's see what happens. So we're deep into injury time on this one. Doesn't look like Liverpool are going to get the goal that they're looking for, and they probably actually deserve. It's Liverpool 1, Sunderland 1. If this remains this way, then yeah, we're just going to break even on the draw. That's absolutely fine. We've made profits on the goal markets. But just to go back to the data and how this one is going to end, it's going to end with Liverpool absolutely eclipsing Sunderland on the XG, that projected match result of the home win. And so it is an example of when we are expecting goals, we are expecting certain match results. But of course, the one thing that can stop us is the time on the clock. And so Liverpool, if they carry on, they're going to score. However, it looks like time is going to be, it's very, very close to the referee blowing the whistle any second now. So that can happen. But anyway, just to recap on the trade, you saw how it played out. We got involved backing Liverpool at half-time, also got involved on the goal markets. The goal markets came to our rescue when Sunderland took a surprise lead. We laid Sunderland. We haven't taken any action ever since then. We've just left 0 on the draw. Potential £57 if Liverpool could turn it around. Doesn't look like they're going to. Bit of an unlucky one for them in this one. But anyway, we are out on this trade. Remember, we made the profit earlier on the goals market. So it's Liverpool 1, Sunderland 1. So the over and under 2.5 goals market. It's one of the most popular markets on the betting exchange to trade for newbies, but it's also probably one of the hardest to trade for newbies, especially if you do not understand it, and most traders do not understand it. Most traders will approach the over and under 2.5 goals market as a trading market, but they will approach it from a betting perspective, and this is where they start to go totally wrong. Okay, the secret to trading over and under 2.5 goals, we're going to get straight into it. It's all in the timing. Okay, most go wrong entering the market at the wrong time. Like I said, they're approaching it like it's a betting market. It's over 2.5 goals. Are we going to get 3 or more goals in the match? If I think yes, let's back overs. Doesn't quite work like that when you're trading. Okay, it's a totally different skill set. So the key, the big secret, it means you have to take advantage of the time decay. That is what the pro football traders will do. Let's just quickly look at this market. We've got Cagliari against AC Milan. This is a pretty typical over and under 2.5 goals market. Under 2.5 goals there at 1.2. Over 2.5 is at 2.2. So here's the thing. If you're trying to trade this market and you were to back over 2.5 goals at kickoff, first goal after 20 minutes, you might not even be in the green. You're probably going to need 2 goals to put you in the green. However, if you wait maybe 15, 20 minutes, then you could get a different price. And if the goal goes in shortly after that, you have a tradable outcome. So let me just show you what I mean by time decay. If you've traded Betfair for any amount of time, I'm pretty sure you know what I mean. But just looking at under 2.5 goals, we know that, look, if this price starts at 1.9 at kickoff, we do know that with time decay, this price is going to get lower and lower, and probably all the way down to 0 as long as there are no goals. So keep that in mind. So would we want to enter right at the top of this, or would we want to wait until the price is a little bit lower, say maybe around 1.5, just for example? Goal goes in, shoots the price up to 1.9, just for example, we've got a successful trade. If we enter at 1.9, goal goes in, price goes back to 1.9, we can't really trade. Okay, so anyway, how does this tie in with XG? Let's take a look at this. Let me show you. So we know that time decay going to be ticking that price down on under 2.5 goals. On over 2.5 goals, it's going to be pushing it upwards also, but we're just going to look at the under 2.5 for this, just to keep it simple. Now, as we know, the XG metric is going to be rising and rising as the match develops. That first 10 minutes of the match, nothing might happen at all, so there's no need to get in the market. But if we watch that XG metric and we wait for a particular number, and again, don't quote these numbers that are on the screen, you're just looking for a particular threshold to be hit, that's your trigger point to get in the market. And you're looking for these numbers to kind of converge. So we've got better value on under 2.5 goals. That's ticked down to a more suitable entry price. Now the XG metric is showing us that we should be getting into the market, and this could typically start to happen maybe 15 minutes in, maybe 30 minutes in, maybe even at half time. And that's what we're going to be showing you in the live demonstrations today, because we're only going to be getting involved at half time. It's a natural and much easier time just to get involved in the match, because you've got a bit more time on your hands to plan your trade out. But also at the same time, we've got more than enough data now on the XG by the time we've reached half time, and this time decay should be in full effect by the time we've reached half time also. So anyway, this is what you've got to keep in mind. As said, it really is all about the timing, and as we're going to be showing you in these live demonstrations, we're going to be patient and we're going to wait for a half-time entry point before we get involved on the over and under 2.5 goals market. Now, just keep in mind, XG does not guarantee goals. It's expected goals, not guaranteed goals. This is where so many people go wrong. However, XG is going to tell us when the conditions are right for a trade. It's also going to tell us when the conditions are wrong for a trade. But what we're going to be looking at today is finding those right conditions, and then we'll be showing you how we'll trade the market, taking advantage of the time decay. And you're going to like this. So let's get into it right now. We've got some real life demonstrations recorded on the Betfair betting exchange for you to look at. But before we do, remember to hit the like button if you enjoy videos just like this. This is going to help YouTube to send you more content just like this in the future. It helps you more than it helps us, but it's a nice thing to do anyway. So hit the like button, or if you're skeptical, wait until we get a bit further in the video and then hit the like button if you like what you're seeing. Remember also, if you don't want to miss a video, hit the subscribe button too, so you get all our new videos as soon as they are out. Anyway, let's dive into it. Let's check out some real life trading demonstrations trading on the over and under 2.5 goals market. We're diving into England League 2, MK Dons against Fleetwood. So MK Dons winning this 1-0. We plugged in the XG numbers. So they are winning, but we've got a goal overdue. So we're expecting another goal in this one. And so we're heading into the second half. Let me show you what we've got set up. We know that the under 2.5 goals, we've already had one goal. We're expecting another one. So we're going to get on the 2.5 goals market. And so we're laying it 1.95, and then every 20 ticks all the way down. Time decay is going to push the under 2.5 goals price down. We are expecting a goal. We're just not sure exactly when it's going to arrive. So this takes advantage of that. So let's see what happens in the second half. It is actually half time. It does say 56 minutes, but that's incorrect. But anyway, let's see what happens in the second half. 69 minutes on the clock. The goal we were expecting has arrived. We've got almost all our lay orders matched also. So we're in this position on the goal markets. Now let's see what the data says here. So I've updated the XG. We've now got to update the correct score. It's now 2-0 to MK Dons. And obviously we were expecting that. And Okay, don't mind that. So anyway, now total goals overdue is 0. It's on the projected match result of the MK Dons win. So it's pretty much should probably just cash out and take the profits, at least for now anyway. Okay, as the match develops further, possibly there's going to be more opportunities in this one, but we're right where we should be. Okay, the match result is expected, the amount of goals is expected. So far we're expecting 2 goals. There's been 2 goals. We've taken advantage of it. And so if we just bring up the chart just to show you the trade, obviously. Okay, looks like we're going to get another goal anyway. So anyway, let's just show you how this trade developed. If I can. Okay, yeah, so it was ticking down. Obviously, we got a lot of our lay orders match. We took advantage of this time decay right here. And obviously we caught the goal, and yeah, we got it all locked in. And maybe if I was a little bit slower, we could have caught the 3rd goal and locked in all the profits. But anyway, that's how it can work. As I have said, it's almost like London buses. You can wait, you can be expecting that bus for a very long time. You think that bus isn't going to arrive. One bus arrives, and then another one's right behind it, and that's exactly what's happened here. So anyway, look, we're out with a profit. That's all locked in. We can take a look at the 3.5 goals market if you did want to do further trading on this one. But for our demonstration, we are out. MK Dons 2, Fleetwood Town 1. So we're in the late stages of a match from Turkey, and we plugged in the XG numbers on this one with the away team winning 1-0. Fairly high XG, and there's only been 1 goal in the match. We've got 1 goal overdue. The away win, the away team is winning. The projected match result is an away win, but that away team is overdue another goal. And you'd always think, also with the home team having to chase the match, it's going to open up in the late stages. So anyway, we're expecting at least 1 more goal in this one. So what we're doing is we're going to go in laying under 1.5 goals. We should get at least that 1 goal. And then if we do, we're also set up on the over 2.5 goals. And then because the 1.5 goals market will close once the goal goes in, we have to try and trade on this market and then see what we can do on this market. So anyway, 70 minutes on the clock. Let's see what happens. We're obviously expecting another goal in this one. Let's see if and when it arrives. 87 minutes on the clock. The goal that we were expected has arrived, and it's gone to the team that we were expecting also. So that obviously closes the 1.5 goals market. There isn't much we can do on there. Obviously, we can't trade out or anything, but that gives us some nice leverage. We've obviously got some green now to play with on this market. So it's 87 minutes on the clock. It's time to check the data. And so I put the XG numbers in here. We're going to increase this score to 2 and see what that does. So there's still another goal overdue in this one. So we are still potentially looking for another goal. So obviously there's a few options that you could take on this from this particular scenario. Remember, we laid under 2.5 goals at 1.28. And it's pretty much around that same price here. Okay, so we've already made 100 on the 1.5 goals market. So we're in a situation where, look, we're going to be profitable overall. We're expecting another goal. Let's just let it run. Okay, if we don't get that next goal, £56 will be taken out of our profit. So it's going to be, what, £44 profit overall. But the data is telling us to try and stay in. And if we do catch it, we'll add another £200 worth of profit. So let's see what happens. 89 minutes. We're going into time added on. We're going to make a profit on this. It's just a matter of how much. 95 minutes on the clock. The goal that we were expecting, that 3rd goal, it has arrived. And as you can see, we were fully justified in going to chase that 3rd goal. Okay. So anyway, it's gone to 2-1. I don't think there's much time left to play on this one anyway. So let's go to the next goal market. You can always head to the next goal market, and look, you've made some green on this, right? So you could always then go in and lay it again at the lower odds. Just sacrifice £2 of profit. You never know. Could be an absolutely mental end to it. Always worth doing. Bit of fun. Nice bonus goal can come in from time to time. But anyway, just back to the demonstration, just to make everything clear with how it developed. Remember, you saw the data. You saw why we were expecting goals. We got involved. The goals arrived late, and there might be some people who are inexperienced with this, or maybe just plain cynical, who will say, "Oh, well, it was a late goal. It was luck. You got there with a lucky late goal, with 2 lucky late goals, didn't you?" Well, it wasn't luck, my friend. It was data. Okay, we saw the data. You saw the reason why we got involved, and we caught the goals. Okay, as said, with expected goals, we're expecting these goals to arrive. We just don't know when they're going to arrive, and sometimes they arrive very late. Final score 2-1 to Eyüpspor. We're in the early stages of the second half. With this one, it's Shamrock against Shakhtar. It's 0-1 to Shakhtar. No huge surprise there. The current projected match result is an away win based on the XG, so nothing to see there. However, we do have a goal overdue. Probably going to go to Shakhtar. However, that means we can get involved on the goal markets, and there's some generous pricing really for over 2.5 goals to be above this price. 53 minutes in means that yeah, looks like there's some decent value in this one. We split up the stake. We're going to be laying under 2.5 goals all the way down to 1.15, and let's see if we can get a goal, and obviously we'll reassess at that point. Let's see what happens. We'll keep you updated. 77 minutes on the clock. The goal we were expecting has arrived. As I said, when you're expecting the goals, you are expecting them, you just don't know when that goal is going to arrive, and this one arrived pretty late. So we got all our lay orders matched in the market. We've got £250 of green, and at this point it's worth checking the XG. Now I've just updated the XG numbers, and let me show you here. It's obviously now 2-0, but there's no more goals overdue, so we're pretty much bang on with where we should be according to the XG. When that's the case, probably you just want to lock in the profits and just take whatever profits are available. Okay, you could try and create a free bet if you wanted, but there's no real data driven reason to do that, so we're just gonna lock in the profits and pretty much just be done with this trade if we can. Okay, all right, I'm not sure what's going on there. Oh, well, market's bouncing around. Is there another goal in this one? It looks like there is. So actually, well, let's go to the over 3.5 goals market. Okay, so I think there is a little bit of a question about this goal, so it could be a little bit of a VAR check coming up on it. So after the longest VAR check ever, the goal didn't stand. So anyway, yeah, had to pause everything, and in the end, look, the markets have only just reopened. It's actually ended up costing us some profits in this one, so that's a little bit frustrating, isn't it? So yeah, anyway, look, that's how you know that these videos are recorded live and they are authentic. You can see the frustrations that we have to go through as football traders. So anyway, we were looking at a much bigger profit, and then a goal went in. It looked like the goal was going to stand. It took an absolute age to work out that the goal wasn't going to stand, and when the markets reopened, we couldn't even lock in the profit that we originally were looking at. But anyway, look, it doesn't really matter, because the whole point of this video, of this demonstration, is just to show you how we're making these data driven decisions. You could see why we entered the market. We got involved. We laid 1.45 all the way down to 1.15. We got the goal. It would have been much nicer to exit on the 77th minute, and we could have locked in what we locked in. We looked at the data also. There's no further goals expected. That's not to say there won't be further goals, but if we just follow in the data, just take the profit and we'll exit out. So in the end, we're going to make the £24 of profit, and then now it looks like there's a goal. Now it looks like there's a goal. Okay, well, anyway, look, I'm done with this trade. I'm done with this trade. Whole point is to show you how we're making those data-driven decisions. There is a third goal. Doesn't really matter. We've got the profit locked in. It's Shamrock 1, Shakhtar 2. So a pretty shambolic trade in Shamrock there for us. But anyway, this analogy couldn't be more apt, really. With expected goals, it is like waiting for a London bus. We know a bus will arrive. We're just not exactly when it will arrive. And then sometimes two can show up once after a very, very long wait. So just keep that in mind whenever you are in the markets trading expected goals and you are waiting around for a goal. A lot of us can get very impatient. We know goals are expected. We just don't know when they're going to arrive, which is why we take advantage of that time decay. Anyway, in case you were curious about the link that has been on the screen during the video, there is a free download. We're giving this book away for free at the moment, and it will show you how we're using XG to trade football in these modern markets. It's absolutely free. You can click the link below in the description of this video, or scan that QR code, put in your email address, and we'll send it to you. And you could be reading this book and having a look through it by the time the video is done. And it's packed full of real life trades, just like you're seeing in these videos, but you can go over them and dissect them in your own time. So as I say, click the link in the description of this video, or if it's easier for you, just scan that QR code with your phone, fill out the form, and we will send you the book right away. Anyway, we got plenty more demonstrations, trading the over and under 2.5 goals market, taking advantage of the time decay, using the data to make our decisions. Let's dive right back into it right now. So it's half time in the English Premier League. We've got Crystal Palace who are leading 1-0 against Man United. So we can see the current projected match result is a Crystal Palace win. So Crystal Palace are winning. They are winning and they're deserved of that lead. But we've got a goal overdue. We've got a goal overdue to actually Man United also. So you might look at this and some people might think, well, that's not right, is it? Because we're saying projected match result, Crystal Palace, but Man United are due a goal. Well, it can just fall that way. So look, Man United are due a goal. Total goals overdue is 1. And anyway, look, don't worry about it. Just get involved on the goal market. So we're heading straight to the over and under 2.5 goals market. And we are laying under 2.5 goals. And we're going all the way down to 1.1. And we will see if we can catch that goal. As we said, we're expecting a goal. We're just not sure when it's going to arrive. So we're taking advantage of the time decay. And we've got lots of lay orders in the market to do exactly that. So Crystal Palace 1, Man United 0 at half time. Let's see what happens in the second half. 53 minutes on the clock and we've had a goal. It's Man United with the equaliser. So as said, we're expecting goals. Sometimes they'll come right away. Sometimes you might have to wait until injury time for it, but this is one of those fast ones. So anyway, we obviously had our lay orders, or 2 lay orders match, 1.95, 1.75, and the odds have shot up to 3.6. So anyway, we were in that position, weren't we, where we're expecting 2 goals in this match, and we're currently on the 2 goals. So let's just get this locked in, and then we're gonna have a quick look at the data. I just want to have a just get this locked in and just updated the XG. Let's update the correct score to 1-1. And yeah, we're still here. We're not got any goals overdue. We're still expecting Crystal Palace win on this one. So obviously there's lots you could consider. If you want to get back involved on the goal markets, you might want to wait until another goal is overdue. Remember, the longer you wait, the better the prices that you're going to get. So anyway, here we are. It's Crystal Palace 1, Man United 1. You can see the price there on Crystal Palace if you did want to look for that Crystal Palace win also. But anyway, we are out and done with a profit very, very quick in the second half. Interesting match of Juventus against Paphos here from the UEFA Champions League. And it's 0-0 at half time, but this is a decent XG number. So we've got total goals overdue 2, and it really apparently should be 1-0 to Juventus, although the current projected match result is a draw. So when you see that, you might be a little bit confused. Well, how comes one side is saying it should be 1-0 to Juventus, which means a Juventus win, but the projected match result is a draw? Well, it's just that the numbers are very, very close, and you can see actually here Paphos, they're getting very close to expecting a goal themselves. That's why it's highlighted in yellow. So anyway, as it stands, Juventus probably should be ahead, but Paphos are not looking too bad themselves. So anyway, you've always got to interpret the data in your best way, and we're not going to get involved back in Juventus at this price. We're just going to leave it. It's 1.46, but 2 goals are expected in this one. So we're going to get involved on the laying under 2.5 goals market. So we're laying unders, already got in there at 1.47, laying it down all the way down to 1.07. Okay, so we're expecting at least 2 goals in this. Let's see what happens. 0-0 at half time. 67 minutes on the clock. The inevitable Juventus goal has arrived. So Juventus are leading now 1-0. We did say at half time this should be 1-0 to Juventus, and just didn't like the price on them, so didn't get involved on the match odds market, but could have been a nice trade for some just to back Juventus there. Could have been a very nice simple one. The trade we're getting involved in, not so simple, because we got in laying under 2.5 goals, so we technically still need 2 goals to win on this market, but as from a football trading perspective, just 1 more goal would probably do it for us. And we'll just show you on the chart, ticking down, A little bit of a spike because it's still fairly late in the match. But we'll look at the data in just one moment. Just want to show you this. 1.47 was where we laid it initially, all the way down to 1.17. So, having a look at the data here, I've updated the XG. We're going to update the correct score to Juventus, which is the 1-0. So we've still got 2 goals overdue in this one, and even a potential goal overdue to Paphos. So this doesn't look like it's over just yet. So we're going to stick with this. And another option we could have is to get involved, potentially laying the under 1.5 goals. So we could also do that at some point. But let's see what happens. We're going to stick with this, and we're going to look for that second goal that we are expecting. The data is telling us should arrive at some point. Let's see what happens. Juventus 1, Paphos 0. 72 minutes on the clock. We didn't have to wait long for that one. The first goal arrived on 67 minutes. The second goal has just arrived on 73 minutes, and so we are now in a position. We're just going to let that market settle. If we're going to go back to the data, I've updated the XG, and then we're just going to change the score on this one. So we've still got 1 goal overdue, which is apparently for Paphos. They apparently deserve a goal in this one. But anyway, look, as a football trader, we could just call it a day on this one. We were looking for 2 goals in the second half. We've got those 2 goals. Don't have to push our luck any further. Juventus are obviously in full control of this match. 2-0 up, and that could be the end of it. Just to show you, as a football trader, you've always got the flexibility, and you could use some of that green to maybe do something like that. Another goal, you're going to increase your profits. No further goals, you will make obviously a smaller profit. So you're going to make a profit. It's just a matter of how much. Those are obviously the nice positions to be in. But anyway, look, that isn't really the point of all these demos. The point of this is just showing you how to use the XG to make data-driven decisions with your trading. I think that was a very good example. You saw at half-time, the data was leading us 2 goals in the second half, and we got them. And you saw it even after the first goal. We let it run because with the data was telling us that second goal was expected at some point. We can't control when it arrives. However, in this case, it's worked out nicely for us. So anyway, we're out on this one. Juventus 2, Paphos 0 on 72 minutes. So we were taking a look at this match with Benfica leading Napoli 1-0. This is from the Champions League. Now we can see the current projected match result is a home win after plugging in these XG numbers, and Benfica are winning. So not much to do there. However, expected goals now is 2. We've only had 1. So we do have a goal overdue. And obviously, with time during the second half, with time decay, it's going to move the prices. There's going to be more chances, so it could easily be ending up with a match easily going over 2.5 anyway. So let me show you where we've headed to. We're laying under 2.5 goals, so we're going against the under 2.5 goals market. With time decay, this is going to keep ticking down, as we know. So we've got lay orders there, 1.48, 38, 28, 18, all the way down to 1.08. So let's see what happens. Benfica 1, Napoli 0. The XG numbers are basically telling us Benfica very, very worthy of their lead. Should probably be 2-0 up. Let's see what happens in the second half. 50 minutes on the clock. A very, very fast answer to our trade. As I did forecast at half-time, Benfica are winning this and probably should be 2-0 up according to the XG. 50 minutes on the clock. It's just gone Benfica 2, Napoli 0. So we will I've updated the XG numbers. Let me update the score and we'll take a look at this. So we're now at no goals overdue. We're now exactly where we should be. So it's a pretty simple decision just to take the profits and be out of this trade within 6 minutes. Okay, 6 minutes in and out of this one. Very, very simple stuff. Data driven. You saw exactly the reason we got involved at half time. I did say it in the previous clip. XG is telling us Benfica should be winning this 2-0. We should be due another goal. It's arrived pretty quickly. Can't get more clear cut than that. So we're out of this trade. Benfica 2, Napoli 0. So probably 99% of football traders are not using XG to its full potential. And when most football traders hear XG, they think it's about stuff like this. It's about predicting how many goals a match will have, predicting the over and under markets, and can we use it to predict a high scoring versus low scoring game. So obviously, don't get me wrong, we can use it for that, but there is much more to it, and that's why I said this strategy in particular definitely flies under the radar. So what is XG really all about? So XG is a pressure and chance quality measure. It's a control indicator, and it's obviously going to be used now as a directional trading tool. So when we look closely at the XG, well, we can get a very good idea of which team is dominant. So instead of just looking at the XG from a total goals perspective, we can look at it from a perspective of who is dominant. Expected goals dominance can give us the expected match result. The real match result is going to lag behind the expected match result. So the match data itself could be telling us what the final result is expected to be. And if we're not on that particular result yet, then as a football trader, that's a pretty clear-cut opportunity. So if we just take a look at this, and obviously this is just a quick example, don't quote the numbers, but if you've got a team that is winning with an XG of 0.4, the team that is losing hasn't scored yet, but their XG is 1.7, that sort of thing is a clear cut big opportunity from a football trading perspective. That would put you in a situation of a expected match result is the losing team should actually be winning. Football trader, let's lay the winning team. Once that equalizer arrives, or once the losing team takes the lead, very nice trade that we can lock in, and we could just exit upon that expected match result correction. Very, very simple. And as said, a lot of football traders aren't really looking at this. There's a very, very big opportunity at the moment just by looking at the data and spotting teams that are outperforming their XG. That's all it's about. And if we have enough time left on the clock, we can get in the markets, we can expect that correction, and we can profit from it. So as said, it's definitely flown under the radar, and I'm just going to show you some real life trading demonstrations of this right now that were recorded on the betting exchange themselves. And so let's dive into that right now. But before we do, it would really, really help us out if you could hit the like button. If you do enjoy videos like this and you want to see more videos like this, this will help YouTube send you more videos like this in the future. So it does help you more than it helps us. And obviously, if you don't want to miss any future videos, you should probably hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you get all our new videos as soon as they come out. Anyway, let's dive into it right now so you can see exactly what I'm talking about with regards to this particular football trading strategy. So it's half time in this one. It's Leverkusen who are winning 1-0, and the second half has actually just begun. So Leverkusen winning 1-0. We've plugged in the XG numbers. XG is telling us current projected match result actually a draw. So Leverkusen are winning, but they're outperforming their XG. So that means we go against Leverkusen as the markets are suspended. Possible penalty. We'll find out more about that in a moment. But we're laying Leverkusen 1.75, 1.6, every 15 ticks all the way down to 1.15. We know time decay is going to take their price lower the longer they hang on to this win, or the lead anyway. And we're going to take advantage of that. So anyway, let's see what happens. Not sure what's happening with the penalty, but it's 49 minutes. It's Leverkusen 1, Newcastle 0. Well, that worked out pretty quickly, didn't it? It was actually a penalty to Newcastle. Newcastle have scored the penalty, so we are now level. Leverkusen 1, Newcastle 1, just as was forecast. It's just a pity in this instance that the goal arrived so quick, the equaliser. We didn't get any of our lower lay orders matched at all. However, it is just a very good example again of how you can use the XG to lead you down the path with these particular trades. Remember, I'm not watching this match. I'm not sitting there watching it for hours or flicking around different screens, different streams to try and work out if Leverkusen are playing good or playing badly and if we should go against them. The numbers are there. It's very clear cut. It's very easy to understand. Even a baby could do this. Leverkusen 1, Newcastle 1. We're out with a profit very, very quickly. So So we're just checking out a match from the English Championship. Middlesbrough trailing to Derby at half-time. Plugged in these XG numbers. And while we're not really expecting goals just yet, the current projected match result is draw. So Middlesbrough should be level in this one. So it's time to go against Derby. And let me show you what we've done here. So Derby leading 1-0. Currently 1.79. You know, with time decay, that's going to be steaming in. We've laid them at 1.8 already. We've got lay orders there at 1.6, 1.4 and 1.2 to take advantage of that time decay. We're obviously expecting this match to go back to being a draw at some point, and the strategy is there to take advantage of that. Derby leading since the very first minute, actually. So anyway, it's going to be interesting. We'll keep an eye on this XG because obviously things can change, and then if it does, we just cancel the rest of these lay orders. But anyway, let's see what happens. It's 1-0 at half-time. 76 minutes on the clock. The goal that we were expecting has arrived. Middlesbrough have equalised, and it was coming. It was coming, especially from what we could see on the XG. So let's just press the cash out. We'll get all this locked in. Our lay orders got in at 1.8 and 1.6. We didn't even get as low as 1.4 just because of the pressure that was coming in from Middlesbrough. If we just take a look at the chart, you can see how this was ticking down. If we click on the in play, well, yeah, we can't actually, can we? So anyway, yeah, we can't get much further into detail on that one because the price has shot out. But anyway, we're just going to look at the data. I've updated the XG numbers. I'm going to put in the correct score here, which means that we're right bang where we should be. Okay, it's a draw, no more goals overdue, so there isn't really much more action to take on this one, but you saw how we spotted this. Derby leading at half time. Current projected match result was a draw. We knew that there was a correction. We expected a correction. We got involved laying Derby. We got the equaliser. Okay, simple as that. So anyway, Middlesbrough won, Derby won. We're out with a profit. So I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen so far, and you can now see XG dominance. It's a little bit like a movie spoiler, but it's very, very powerful from a football trading perspective. It's like you're watching a movie where you already know the twist that is coming. Everyone else is going to be surprised when that inevitable equaliser arrives, apart from you. If you've looked at the XG, you can see that pressure building, you can see the chance, you can see the shots on target, etc., etc. And when the equaliser arrives, it might be a surprise to everyone else, but to you, it was inevitable. And as football traders, we can take a huge advantage of that. Anyway, if you haven't seen it, I mean, you've seen the links on the screen earlier in the video, and if you were wondering what it was all about, it's a free book. We're giving this away for free at the moment, and it will show you how we're using XG to trade football in these modern markets. You're going to learn how and why live XG's data is changing the game for football traders, all the money making trades, what they are and how we incorporate them. And there's loads of trades in there for you to just dissect and go through and learn from. This is for those who are serious about their football trading and want to go up to the next level. So download the book. It's absolutely free. There's a link below this video in the description, or you can just scan the QR code and get it downloaded. So anyway, that's there. The link's going to be on the screen also. Let's check out some more real life examples of this particular football trading strategy. So we spotted an interesting match here in the English Premier League with Leeds against Chelsea. Leeds 2-0 up in this one. Plugged in the XG numbers. They are winning by 2-0, but according to the XG, they don't deserve to be winning by 2-0. Actually, they don't deserve to be winning at all. They're outperforming their XG. The current projected match result is a draw. So when a team is outperforming their XG, then they're ripe for getting or taking on and laying. And so we've done exactly that. Laying Leeds here at 1.24, and we've got lay orders at lower odds also to take advantage of. We're not quite expecting more goals in this one. We're not going to get involved in the goal markets just yet. We're just going to take advantage of this low risk laying opportunity going against Leeds. 2-0 up against Chelsea. We only need one goal to swing the odds in a profitable way for us. Let's see what happens. Leeds 2, Chelsea 0. 52 minutes, it's Leeds 2, Chelsea 1. So as we said, you're only going to need one goal to swing the odds, and we laid Leeds here at 1.24, and their odds are already out to 1.78. So we can just lock that in as an instant return and just be done with this. That's all we're looking for. Remember, we're trading these markets. It's not a punt. It's not a have a bet and cross our fingers. It is taking advantage of how we know these how we know these markets are going to move. Okay, so we know that if Leeds hung on to it, the time decay is going to push that price lower. We had lay orders in there to take advantage of that. We also know that just one goal from Chelsea is going to swing it. And let's see if we got out just in time. There has been another goal. There has been another goal. And it's gone back to Leeds. Okay, so we got out in in the nick of time. In the nick of time. So anyway, look, that's exactly what I mean with regards to football trading. We had our trade planned. We went in. We laid Leeds. We knew one goal in our favour would shoot the odds up. We got that goal. We got out. Now what happens after this, it doesn't really matter. From what I can see, I think the goal's going to stand. There is a bit of a VAR question about it, but I think it actually doesn't make a difference to us because we're already out the market. But anyway, we will let everyone else worry about this. It's Leeds 2, Chelsea 1. We've made our profit and we're done with the trade. But most importantly, you saw why we got in with the trade and also why we got out. Looks like from the looks of it, probably going to be chalked off. Anyway, Leeds 2, Chelsea 1, I think. 99% of football traders are using XG incorrectly, and this is where the traders go wrong. Number one, look, they just don't know how to interpret XG. They often only look at the XG after the match. They look at the numbers and they're like, well, that was way off, wasn't it? And they're also the type of people that will nitpick when expected goals do not arrive. They will be the type of person that will look at a match that was 0-0 and say, well, look, expected goals was 2 or 3, so that's not very good for expected goals, is it? Anyway, that's where most traders go wrong. The key is always going to be in the interpretation of the data, but also using it during the live match to anticipate what might happen next. So if we just think about what was said on that last slide, a lot of people will look at the XG at the end of the match. They'll compare it to the final score and they'll see, well, that wasn't very good. It's not exactly accurate, is it? As a football trader, that doesn't matter. We're looking at what happens during the match and what the XG data can guide us with. So we're basically looking at the data to show us events that haven't happened yet, and then we're obviously going to position ourselves accordingly. So if the data is saying there should have been a goal, we'll position ourselves accordingly. 2 goals, we'll do that. If the home team should be winning, if the away team should be winning, well, we're always going to have a strategy for that as football traders. Now, the good news is, if this sounds a little bit overwhelming, is that our members, well, we're currently using the XG calculator tool that's in our members area to help guide these decisions. It's as simple as plugging in those numbers and seeing where the calculator takes us. So you don't have to crunch the numbers yourself or in your head. You can take the XG numbers from Flash Scores, Sofa Score, put it in the calculator and just see what it tells you to do and then trade accordingly. Okay, don't trade like a headless chicken. You're still going to use your strategy and use your discipline. Okay, but either way, the calculator can make your life and your decision making much easier. Anyway, what we have lined up for you today is a lot of real life trading demonstrations where we're going to use that calculator. We're going to use the calculator to guide our decisions, and then we're going to apply a strategy, and we're still going to try and be disciplined traders, and we're going to make data driven decisions, not emotional decisions or rushed decisions or anything like that. So anyway, we're going to get into that right now, but before we do, it would be very nice if you could click the like button to support the channel. If you do like videos just like this, clicking the like button will help you get more videos just like this in your algorithm. So it's actually going to help you more than it helps us, really. So if you don't want to miss any of our videos in the future or anything like that, the subscribe button should help you with that also, hopefully. Not really sure how it works these days. Anyway, let's dive into it. We've got some real life trading demonstrations on the betting exchange itself. So just at half time, we're taking a look at this match from the Europa League. It's Bologna against Salzburg. It's currently 1-1. Bologna are a strong favourite for this. And the XG number's pretty interesting. Look, we've already had 2 goals, total goals overdue. We're expecting another one. We're also expecting a home win. So for it being a deadlock at half time, that does present a bit of an opportunity. So let me show you what I've got set up here. We're going to go on 2 markets. So I'm going to get involved on the match odds market. Now we do know that with time Bologna's price is going to drift, and so we will take advantage of that. We're backing them here at 1.74. Let me just show you something here. So you can see this is pretty much their price at half time. Other people have been backing them also. They're obviously seeing the XG differential. So anyway, we're going to be backing Bologna here, and then we're going to go in half a point and half a point, splitting that stake into 3 parts. And then we're also going in, since we are expecting a goal at the same time, on the over 3.5 goals market. We need 1 goal to kind of trigger that market and crash the price in. That price is going to rise, so we're going to be backing it 1 point above, splitting the stake into 3 on this one. And the main benefit of getting involved on the goal market is if Salzburg were to be the team that scores. Obviously, we can't control who's going to score the goal, and so it's a little bit of a hedge. So anyway, we'll see what happens. It's half-time. Bologna 1, Red Bull Salzburg 1. 51 minutes on the clock, and the goals that we were expecting have arrived, and they've gone in the way that we were expecting also. So they've arrived pretty promptly. As said, when we're expecting goals, we're expected it. We just don't know what time it's going to arrive. Sometimes it will arrive right away. Okay, it's like a London bus. Anyway, Bologna 2, Red Bull Salzburg 1. That means obviously we didn't get our full stakes into the market, and as I say this, there's been another goal. So let's take a look at this. I'm not sure who it's gone to. It looks like it's gone to Bologna again, so that's improved our situation. Let's go to, well, this market's gone. All right, so we got involved on the over and under 3.5 goals market, and yeah, didn't get a chance to show you that, did I? But yeah, it's just gone 3-1 Bologna. So look, sometimes you get it right and sometimes you get it too right. So anyway, look, we've landed that profit on the over 3.5 goals market. We didn't get our full stake in the market. We were 2 right on this one. The XG was 2 right. And so we've landed this profit. This profit is locked in, and we're going to have a nice, just a simple cash out here on the match odds market also. So anyway, you saw how we called it. You saw the thinking behind it. It is a data-driven trade. We're taking the emotions out of it. The numbers were there. It's set to go. We obviously had our plan with trying to take advantage of the time decay. Didn't really transpire, but we've got our profit locked in within, what, 7 minutes of entering the market. So anyway, Bologna 3, Red Bull Salzburg 1. We are out with a profit. So just entered the second half of this match with Blackpool and Reading, and you can see Reading are winning 1-0. We plugged in the XG numbers. We've got a goal overdue. Not quite sure which team. It's not too clear on who that goal is overdue to. However, it's looking increasingly likely to be Blackpool, especially when you consider the actual projected match result is a draw. So we should be going against Reading. We should be looking to get involved in the goal markets, and it's exactly what we've done here. So gone against Reading, laying Reading here at 1.56, and then we go down every 10 ticks to take advantage of that time decay. And then I'm in the goal markets also. Let me double check on this. Yes. Okay. So we've gone in 1.69 as our entry lay, and then we've got lay orders every 15 ticks going down, and that's basically it. I mean, the most ideal scenario from here would be Blackpool equaliser. But let's see what happens. We're expecting goals, just not sure of the time of it, but we're taking advantage of the time decay. Let's see what happens in the second half. 69 minutes on the clock. We've had a goal. It has not gone the way that we really wanted it to come. Okay, so we were expecting a goal. We ideally wanted it to go to Blackpool. It's actually Reading who have doubled the lead here, 2-0. So obviously we're staring down the barrel of a loss on the match odds market, but we were involved on the goal markets. Let's see how that one went. And very, very close. We were very close to getting at least that lay order match, which would have made a huge difference to this. But anyway, what we can do, if we just want to exit this trade, is obviously we can take the profits on the goal markets, and then we can exit on the match odds market also, and lock in a bit of a smaller loss. Let's quickly, I've updated the XG. Let's just add this on to here. And so interestingly, I mean, look, we're still overdue a goal, aren't we, on this one? We're still overdue a goal, and it's still a projected match result is going to be for Reading to win, so that's fine, but we're still overdue a goal on this one. So what we're going to do, we will lock in or accept the loss on this one. Actually, hold on. Because we're overdue a goal, let's firstly cancel these unmatched orders. All right. And then we will remove the risk. So we're going to go for another goal on this market. And let's put that in. If I can, we're going to have to adjust this. Okay. And just get this match. Just want this just to be matched so we can move on, so you can understand the demonstration here. So, okay, that's in. So now we've got free bet. If there is a further goal, we are expecting another goal on this one. Now, if we go to the match odds market, we can pretty much take the loss on this one. On the match odds market, we know we're expecting a Reading win on this one, and they are 2-0 up. There's not much point really going against it. There's no data to guide us to go against Reading at this stage. So we are in a position where if we do get that next goal, we will break even. So as it stands, if it does remain 2-0 to Reading, we will take the loss on the match odds market. But if we get another goal, we're going to take that profit from the over 2.5 goals, and we're looking at pretty much a scratch trade. And the most important part is that we've got the data guiding us. The data is telling us 1 goal overdue in this one, expecting 3 goals in this match. So let's see what happens. There is lots of time on the clock. 72 minutes. It's Blackpool 0, Reading 2. 80 minutes on the clock. There has just been another goal, and the score has just gone Blackpool 0, Reading 3. So as expected, we knew that Reading result was pretty much kind of nailed on, the Reading win. But anyway, we've landed the profit on the over 2.5 goals. We were expecting that 3rd goal. It's arrived in good time. That's perfect. So that is going to pretty much offset the loss that we're going to take on the match odds market. And it's in the end, when you can kind of get out of jail with these sorts of trades, it actually always feels like a good result. Okay, we went in, we were taking on Reading, we were happy to take on Reading at half time. Football is football. Reading went 2-0 up. We were obviously involved on the goal markets, took the data-driven decision to go for that 3rd goal, and we've pretty much ended up with a scratch trade. Okay, so that's the beauty of football trading. So you've got a few good golden nuggets from this little trading demonstration. Data-driven decisions. Remember, we followed the data. We were expecting goals. We were expecting to go against Reading. One of them happened. One of them didn't. However, we played the markets off each other. We hedged it. Didn't really take a loss. Or for those who are pedantic, maybe we took around a £2 loss. So anyway, we're out on this one. It's Blackpool 0, Reading 3. We're not going to do any further trades on this one. This one is pretty much where it should be. This is where the expected goals and expected match results should be. 3 goals, Reading win. There's nothing further to do. There's 8 minutes left. So we're out of this one, and we'll move on to another trade. Some interesting trades so far, and there's still more to come actually, but I do just want to give you this quick takeaway here. Now, the XG data, it does show you what has happened. However, it's the interpretation of the data which explains what is likely to happen next. So as we've seen, lots of chances being created. If a team is going to keep on creating those chances, and there's enough time left in the match for that team to continue to create those chances, well, inevitably a goal is going to follow. It's not guaranteed. It's why the word expected is in expected goals. But that is a key thing to keep in mind. It's interpretation which explains what is likely to happen next. And as football traders, we can just follow that. Now, you might have seen it on the screen, but we do have this free book that we're giving away at the moment. It's a free download. You can click the link below to get it, or you can scan this QR code. It's the XG Manifesto. It's packed full of XG trades on the Betfair exchange for you to go over and dissect. You can learn exactly how we're using XG to spot the opportunities and the type of strategies we're using to take advantage of those strategies. XG is a tool. It's a strategy which turns it into the profit. So anyway, as said, it's a free book. I don't know why you wouldn't want to get it. Click the link that's in the description of this video, or just scan that QR code and get it. Okay. So anyway, more live trading demonstrations coming up. Let's check out this very, very interesting one that we did recently. So we're deep in the depths of League 2 for this one. Walsall against Bromley. Bromley, the away team, leading on this one. We can see the XG numbers after being plugged in. Projected match result is a draw, so Bromley outperforming their XG. But interestingly, team goals overdue is 1 in favour of Walsall. Doesn't say total goals overdue quite 1. So that can be a bit of a mismatch. It just means it's very, very close to also being 1 on the total goals overdue also. So anyway, if we look at the match odds market, we're going against Bromley. So already got in with a lay order. Time decay means that price is going to keep steaming in as long as they lead. And we've got lay orders in the market ready to take them on as they steam in. And we're also getting involved on the goal markets. It's already a pretty low price. So we've already laid it at 1.48. And it's ticking down all the way down to 1.08. So anyway, that's it at the moment. Walsall 0, Bromley 1 on 51 minutes. 66 minutes. We've had a goal and it's gone the way that we wanted. It's now Walsall 1, Bromley 1. So let's lock in the profit on the match odds market. We got 2 of our lay orders matched at 1.5 and 1.4. Let's just get that locked in, and then we're going to now take a look at the goal markets, which is the 2.5 goals market. So let's quickly see what the data says. So I put in the new XG numbers. Now let's put in the current correct score, which is 1-1. And so we are exactly where we should be. Okay, there's nothing wrong with the result. Okay, more stuff could still happen. We're not saying that it won't, but is there an angle into the market? Current projected match result is a draw. It is a draw. Total goals overdue is 0, so we're not really expecting more goals. So we could just collect the profits on the match, on the over and under 2.5 goals market also, and be done. And of course you can watch the data, see if any more opportunities arise, but this looks pretty much like we're done with this one, especially at least for the demonstration anyway. So we will take a look and just see that we've got our lay orders on the under 2.5 goals, 1.48, 1.38, down to 1.28 also. Okay, so very nice trade on the under 2.5 goals. And if we can try and bring up the chart before we clock off, let's just show you there. So anyway, ticking down, got the goal right back up to almost where it started. So yeah, very nice trade. Most important thing is you saw how data driven it was. Went against Bromley, we're expecting a goal also. It was almost textbook. Walsall 1, Bromley 1, we're out on 68 minutes. So just looking at half time with a Premier League match, West Ham against Liverpool. Now going into this match, Liverpool were in some well, horrific form. However, the XG in this match is actually looking quite positive for them, and we're expecting currently an away win for Liverpool, and we're expecting a goal at least. So let me show you what we've got set up. We're going to back Liverpool and we're going to split our stake up into 3. The time decay means Liverpool's price will drift during the second half. We'll try and catch some higher prices because of that. And then we're going to get involved. We're expecting 1 goal, so we go to the over and under 1.5 goals market. And we're laying that all the way down to 1.2 because, as you know, we're expecting goals. We just don't know exactly when it's going to arrive. So we've got an inkling that it's going to arrive to Liverpool, and we'll see what happens in the second half. It's 0-0 at half time. 60 minutes on the clock. The goal that we were expecting has arrived, and it's arrived to the team that we were expecting it to arrive to also. So West Ham 0, Liverpool 1, and let me just show you actually the chart. Remember, we backed Liverpool 1.79. The price was starting to drift, but we didn't get any further orders matched. So anyway, we'll just take whatever profit is available on the match odds market, and then we'll take a look at the goal market also. Liverpool in absolute terrible form coming into this match. I think they've lost about 6 out of their last 7. So going by form, would you want to back Liverpool in this match? Probably not. But going by the XG within the match, you can see the reason why we backed them. So anyway, we're looking at the goal markets. We got matched 2.3, 1.9, 1.65, and so we're in a nice position on this one. I'm just going to remove the risk, and then we will obviously just check on the data. So just updated the XG numbers on this one. We'll update the correct score. And so we're right where we should be with regards to goals overdue and the current projected match result. So going back to this, probably just take the profits in this one. At the moment, there's no real need to push this any further. It was a well thought out trade, as you saw. Data driven, it's exactly what we're looking for. And just to be clear again, I think one of the big main takeaways is that if you're going by pre-match form, then you wouldn't want to be backing Liverpool in this match. But going by the XG form, which is the live, most up-to-date form you can get in this match, you could see why we backed Liverpool. Okay, so a lot of the old school traders might look at these matches and think, well, yeah, I'm never going to back Liverpool in a million years. They just lost 6 of their last 7 matches. However, it's always going to be down to what happens in play. And as football traders, look, we've got in, we've profited, and then we're out. That's the main key. Whatever happens after this doesn't really matter. West Ham could go on and win this 2 or 3-1. Anyway, 63 minutes, we're out with a profit. It's West Ham 0, Liverpool 1. So XG is not some fancy stat for football pundits to argue about. Football traders today are now using XG to anticipate market corrections and to anticipate basically what is going to happen next within a live football match. So market corrections, as we know in the financial markets, a market correction can represent a huge opportunity, a huge but pretty rare opportunity. One example you might know about, 2008, the housing crash. Now, what happened there? The housing prices drifted massively away from the actual reality. And a small group, as we know from those who've seen the movie or watched documentaries, they positioned this early. They spotted this happening early. They made billions when the correction eventually happened. You could argue they were looking at the expected housing prices versus the actual housing prices, and they noticed a discrepancy and they took advantage. Well, anyway, look, with football trading, there's going to be dozens of major corrections happening every single hour. In those financial markets, you're going to get a few major corrections happening per decade, but we've got a lot more opportunity in the football trading markets. This is across multiple matches, multiple leagues, multiple in-play moments, all driven by overreactions to goals, underreactions to dominance, and just mispricing happening all over the place, and the XG helping us to find it. And so what we're going to show you in this video is what we're calling the XG trading loop. This is how we are going to spot those market corrections, and then we're going to take advantage of it. And it actually really simplifies what we're trying to do when we are trading football with XG. Okay, we're going to be watching those XG statistics to tell us when a market correction is about to happen, and we're going to trade anticipating that correction. Let's get into the XG trading loop here. So step 1, you're going to spot the discrepancy. Okay, so you're going to spot times in the match where the actual scoreboard is not matching up with the expected scoreboard. An example of this: the expected scoreboard is 1-0 to the home team. The actual match, 1-0 to the away team. That's a pretty obvious discrepancy. As a football trader, you would follow that, going against the away team, laying the away team, some sort of strategy which goes against the team that is winning because there's a clear discrepancy. That's step 2. That's where we trade that correction. That's where we enter the market with our strategy. Okay, we're anticipating that correction. Step 3, when the correction happens, we take that correction, we exit the trade, and we reset. Step 4, we exit. Okay, we exit the trade, we exit the market, and we observe, because we're looking again for step 1. We're looking for another discrepancy. Once that next discrepancy presents itself, we trade it. Once it's corrected, we exit and we reset, and so on. It's a trading loop. You might get 2 or 3 of these opportunities in a single match, but if you're trading multiple matches, you're going to get a lot more of these opportunities every single day. Now, you might be thinking, well, how can I figure out how there is a discrepancy in the match? Yes, a team might be winning, but how can I really work out the XG numbers to know what the expected score should be, what the expected match result should be, what the expected over and under goals should be? Well, that is why we have the XG calculator, and our members are using this. Some of our members have been using this for years to gain an advantage over the markets. You don't have to crunch the numbers yourself. You just take the XG numbers, you plug them in the calculator, and you look for those discrepancies. And if we just quickly go back to the loop, spot the discrepancy, trade the correction, take the correction, exit. Spot another discrepancy, trade it, take it, profit, exit, and so on. And if you don't profit, you're not going to exit step 3. Okay, for those who are going to be trying to be smart in the comments. Anyway, as said, the calculator makes it a lot easier to use. This is available only to XG Football Trading members. And so we're going to show you how that calculator works right now. Let's dive into it. So for those who are members of XG Football Trading, this is obviously the XG Football Trading members area. And so pretty clear, you can just click on the calculator and open it up. And once you're in the calculator page, you've got 2 demo videos that you could check out if you need. And then obviously you've got this button for open. We've also got some live trade demonstrations using the calculator to show you a few different things. But anyway, we're going to just quickly dive into this. And so the calculator is open. It opens in your web browser. So there's nothing to download, nothing to do on Excel or anything like that. It just opens in your web browser. Then you can add for as many matches as you want. And just to be clear, we do have the classic calculator. And then we've also got the version 2 calculator. Okay, so you can probably spot the difference. The calculator, the classic, doesn't have an option on the left. In fact, let me switch back. Doesn't have the option to change the calculator by league. So if we're here on the 2.0, you can see that we have many different leagues to pick from. So the idea behind this is that the XG data, it can change from league to league. So we've got a coefficient system. So it's not one XG number fits all. That was obviously what we believed, say, 2 years ago. We actually find the data, it varies from league to league. So XG in, say, Brazil's Serie A is going to be wildly different from the XG over in the English Premier League. So that is obviously a nice option for us, that we can just select the league and we're going to get a much more accurate take on the XG data. Or you could just select other, or you could just use the classic. A lot of people have done very well just using the classic and haven't really upgraded. Both options are there for you. But anyway, I'm going to quickly just set up a match just so you can get an idea of how it works. So we're over on flash scores. This was Newcastle against Man City. If I can even just bring the logos in just so you can get an idea. Anyway, we're looking for this number. Expected goals 0.64, 2.02. in favour of Man City. So we know obviously this match finished 2-0 to Man City, but we're going to plug in these XG numbers and the calculator is suggesting, as we can see here, expected correct score, the 2-0, expected goals now 2, and expected away win, which what did happen. So let's put in what the actual score was, 0-2. And so what you can see, and this is going back to what we spoke about with market corrections, the XG numbers were telling us to expect a 2-0 win in favour of Man City. Now it was, as we know, a 2-0 win. So obviously the key is with the anticipation, and just to be clear, and just showing you this, the second Man City goal didn't arrive till the 98th minute. So again, probably a decent little opportunity just in that match. But anyway, I'm sure you've seen enough clips of using the XG calculator, as said, to predict these market corrections. But anyway, it just gives you an idea of how it works. So basically, when that score was, say, 1-0 to Man City, we could see that we were expecting a goal was overdue to Man City. The expected correct score was 2-0. Obviously, in this case, they got it. And that's the main idea. And so you would use this in play pretty much the same way we're doing in all the videos. It is just a matter of taking the XG numbers from a website like Flash Scores, like SofaScore. It's all free and easy to obtain, and then you plug it in and you can kind of see where you're going wrong. So if we just flipped it around and let's say this match was 1-0 to Newcastle, based on these XG numbers, we could see there's a lot of discrepancies, isn't it? So the projected match result is an away win. We've got 2 goals overdue. The correct score is wrong. This represents an opportunity. However, if we were to look at this match and it was a 2-0 late on, then there isn't really much opportunity. The away win is happening. The expected correct score is happening. There is potentially a goal overdue, and you would decide, depending on how much time is left in the match, whether that is an opportunity for yourself to take advantage of, or whether there's better opportunities out there. And as said, you can add as many calculators as you want because there's going to be a lot of matches happening, which means a lot of potential market corrections happening too. And so you obviously now understand exactly how the calculator works. I'm just going to show you what else you can get within the XG football trading course program, because there's a lot to take in, and the calculator on its own isn't going to do much if you don't have the knowledge itself. So anyway, this is how the members area looks, and obviously you can click in here to the XG football trading course, and this is where you really learn just how everything works. Okay, and if we just scroll down, you can get an idea of how many videos there are. So there are well over 15 videos. They're all quite short clips, so it's not too overwhelming, but there's a lot of detail. Okay, that's the key with this, and you can obviously see some of this on the screen already, but obviously we do show you how to find the XG data. We show you how to avoid some of the flaws with XG data also. This is where so many people go wrong. People who haven't done a course like this, they look at XG data totally the wrong way, fully misunderstand it. Anyway, good luck to them. But let me show you this one. So magic numbers predicting goals. This is where you can start to use XG to predict goals in play. It's the very best way to interpret it. So as said, look, the calculator can do a lot of the heavy work, but there's still going to be the 20% of interpretation, which is down to you as the trader. Okay, so we've got that. We've got magic numbers, how we can use XG to predict winners, how you can use XG to predict shocks. And it's not just as simple as, oh, well, if the underdog's XG is higher, it could be a shock on the cards. It's not as simple as that. We've got the concept of excess XG. That's explained, and it's very key to what we spoke about with anticipating what's going to happen next, anticipating those market corrections. And then we've got the shots on target module, and you can even see this is new. So this has been recently added, and we do update this course again and again. Okay, the XG data, it's a moving target. It's constantly evolving. It's a brand new technology that we're talking about. So the initial offering of this course from 2 years ago, it's not going to be the same as it is today. Okay, it's been updated. The shots on target data is absolutely huge. We show you the optimal number of shots on target to look for alongside XG, how it translates into goals. So the actual number of shots on target per goal. So once you can look at the number of shots on target that we have had so far in the match alongside the XG, well, it can be extremely powerful. We've also got, the first half XG, second half XG. The main differences with that you've got to take into account, because there can be some big mistakes made with that. Predicting late goals, that's included. Other stuff like using attack momentum, price action, XA, XGOT. And we also show you how to avoid looking at the wrong numbers. So there's lots to take in. Okay, and once you have taken it in, you're not going to look at football the same way ever again. And I didn't say you're not going to look at football trading the same way ever again. I said you're not going to look at football the same way ever again. It's going to absolutely transform the way that you watch matches, and you're going to be able to predict stuff a lot better than your average person. So anyway, that is obviously worth the admission fee on its own. But if we go back to the members area, you've obviously got that to get through. Then you've got the calculator, and then there are strategies, and obviously it just depends on the level of course that you take up, because every level has a different amount of strategies. But as you can see, if you want the full Monty, you should be taking up XG Football Trading Platinum. This will give you strategies such as the time split, the first half one, the +1, the +2. The other ones we really like in there are obviously lay the leader, lay the draw, pretty basic, a good beginner strategy for a lot of people, the dominator. So let me just click into one of these strategies. Obviously we're not going to watch a strategy video, but we will just give you an idea for those who have never done any of our courses and always wondered what it's like on the inside. Well, this is it. So you get the video, and you would just press play on the video, and we'll try that right now. Hopefully it will load up, and I will mute it. Okay, and then you would just you're just going to watch the video with all the kind of tutorial at the start, and then we get into real life trading demonstrations, as you've seen. So it's kind of like what you see on our YouTube channel, but on steroids. A lot more information to take into account. And then it's not done yet, because after that you've got a full live trading library full of live trades to check out. Lots of different scenarios, winning trades, losing trades, the good, the bad, the ugly. Okay, we set you up to show you all the trades, and most importantly we show you the worst case scenarios. Okay, so you're not going to enter the market blindly just expecting every trade to win. That obviously doesn't happen. And we show you how to handle those bad situations, and that's where the real skill starts to come in with your football trading. So anyway, let's go back on this one. And for those who are watching this with subtitles, just to show you also, there are subtitles, I believe, in every language. Okay, we've got to go this way. So subtitles in every language also. So we do get a lot of people in other countries always wondering about doing our courses, but can't really understand me. So anyway, that's there for them also. So anyway, lots to take in within the XG football trading course. As said, lots of options also. So if you are just interested in the calculator, you can do that. If you want to get the full Monty, every single strategy, you can do that also. Okay, so the link to get on the waiting list for this and everything else is going to be in the description of this video, so you'd have to check that out, click through. Depending on when you see this video, we're either about to open or we're probably not going to open again for a very long time. Okay, at the time of putting out this video, we actually haven't opened this in over a year. So because we're spending so much time updating it, we didn't want to let anyone in during that time. And so if you don't get in this time, you never know, it could be another year before we open it again. So as said, link is in the description. If you are interested, just follow the link, follow the instructions on the link. Maybe it's a waiting list, maybe it's an application form. I'm not 100% on that, but anyway, it's all there. You've seen how it works, you've seen the calculator, you've seen what's inside the XG football trading course, you've seen some demonstrations. There's obviously a lot more on the channel for you to check out, but I do believe that wraps it up, and you've got a very good idea of how it works. It's just looking for those market corrections, and once you understand the XG, it's going to lead you down that path of knowing exactly when those market corrections are going to happen, and it's extremely powerful. You shouldn't really be trading football without it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed checking that one out. Maybe on the screen right now there is another video for you to check out. If not, there's a link in the description with more videos for you to check out also. I'll see you over there.